15.7 trillion naira by the end of December 2018.
Senior Democrats have responded by accusing AIM of committing a gross offense.
The All Progressives Congress has vowed to punish the Ogun State Governor, Ibikule Amosu.
To 15.7 trillion naira by the end of December 2018.
Senior Democrats have responded by accusing AIM of committing a gross offense.
The All Progressives Congress has vowed to punish the Ogun State Governor, Ibikule Amosu.
Thank you for joining us on Celebration Television News Desk. I'm Obuzegi Ruth, and here are top stories for the day. Go to court, Buhari tells PDP and others as Bello and Leon wins. From the international scene, Trump says he will strongly consider testifying in impeachment probe. On business, Airpeace Embraer seal $212.6 million aircraft deal. And then on sport, lack of Champions League begins to hit Man United finances. The details of the news will come shortly after this timeout. Please join us again. President Muhammadu Buhari on Monday advised the People's Democratic Party and other parties that were not satisfied with the results of governorship elections in Kogi and Bayelsa states to seek redress in court. Buhari gave this advice shortly after the Independent National Electoral Commission declared the Kogi State Governor and candidate of the All Progressives Congress, Yahaya Bello, winner of the Saturday governorship election in the state. The APC candidate in Bayelsa State, David Leon, had on Sunday won the governorship poll in the state. Leon polled 352,552 votes to defeat his closest rival, Senator Doye Diri of the People's Democratic Party, who got 143,172 votes. Buhari, in a statement by his media aide, Femi Adesina, congratulated Bello and Leon for winning Saturday's governorship polls. While he described Leon's victory as impressive, the president said Bello's election was a race well run and a victory well won. Buhari asked those that were not happy with the outcome of the polls in the two states to go to court to seek redress. However, the president commended the APC and the people of the state who exercised their civic rights in a peaceful manner, notwithstanding the pockets of unrest recorded in some locations. Next on local scene, on concert, the Experience 2019 is set to happen. The Experience 2019 is one of the biggest concerts in the world. It is back with another exceptional list of performing gospel artists. The Experience is an event hosted by the senior pastor of House on the Rock, Pastor Paul Adefarasin. This year, the Experience was awarded the Corporate Event of the Year by Most Influential People of African Descent and the Event of Excellence Award by African Gospel Music and Media Awards. The Experience concert has held for 13 years now, with the 2018 edition themed Jesus Our Peace, and saw the debut of Australian group Planet Shakers. In this edition of 2019, a few names will be making their debut, such as Priye Odede and Mercy Chinwo. In another local news, we won't enroll on IPPIS, ASUU insists. The Academic Staff Union of Universities insists its members will not enroll on the Integrated Payroll and Personnel Information System. The body said on Monday it would decide its next action should the federal government decide to stop the salaries of the members. The ASUU National Vice President, Professor Emmanuel Osodeke, stated this during an interview at the ASUU Heroes Day celebration in Abuja. The union met with the National Assembly on October 28 to make it known on the IPPIS. He added that they have made their position known to the government, and the government has said they would get back to them, so they are expecting their reaction. Their position is that ASUU will not join the IPPS the way it is. They have maintained that there is nowhere in the world where the salaries and wages of university workers were paid from the central. Each university has a governing body and a governing council, and it is the council which employs all the workers, not the Civil Service Commission. Therefore, the council must determine the mode of payment of the workers, not the office of the Accountant General of the Federation. On sex for marks in some universities, the ASUU chief said some lecturers had been sacked and others jailed for sexual misconduct, noting that the union would not tolerate such behavior. Lastly, from the local scene, National Assembly lacks power to pass hate speech bill, says Falana. Human rights lawyer Mr. Femi Falana, senior advocate of Nigeria, argued on Monday that the National Assembly lacked the legislative competence to pass the controversial bill for the establishment of a hate speech commission. He said in a statement that the hate speech being a residual matter would encroach on the legislative autonomy of state government. He threatened legal action to challenge the constitutionality of the bill if it was passed by the National Assembly and signed into law by President Muhammadu Buhari. The bill, which has passed the first reading at the Senate, provides varying degrees of penalties, including capital punishment for violation of different provisions of the proposed law. However, Fulani maintained on Monday that hate speech was not an item on either the exclusive or concurrent legislative list in the Nigerian Constitution. Constitution, saying that the National Assembly therefore lacked the power to legislate on it. That's the size on local scene today. We are up to foreign world. The details of the news will come shortly. Please join us again.
Jesus! It is better to be envied than to be pitied. But the only problem about envy, it is very dangerous when people envy you for pettiness.
Hello great people, my name is Johnson Suleiman. I'd like to give you a special invitation, and I hope this message meets you well. Do you live in Edmonton? Do you live in Ottawa? Do you live in Toronto? Do you live in Winnipeg? This is an outstanding invitation for you all as I come to Calgary. I'll be in Canada for an outburst of the move of God, the great massive harvest of souls. So I'm coming to Calgary. The address is now being scrolled, and all the information you need to get, the numbers to call for seat reservation. I'm believing God. I'm going to be laying my hands on the sick. I'm going to be praying for people, believing God for a miracle, and God will be sitting in the building. This year is our year of open heavens and uncommon grace, and that's what's coming to Calgary. I'll see you there.
And welcome back. On international scene, gunmen fire on buses carrying Muslim Sri Lankan voters. Gunmen fired at buses carrying minority Muslim voters on Saturday as Sri Lankans elected a new president, with the powerful Rajapaksa clan eyeing a comeback 7 months after Islamist extremists staged deadly bombings. Minority Tamils and Muslims are seen as crucial in a close election, as the attack in the northwest of the island, in which no one was injured, was likely aimed at deterring people from heading to the polls. But election chief Mahinda said over 80% of the 15.99 million electorate was estimated to have turned out on Saturday, compared to 81 to 5% at the previous presidential poll in 2015. Comparatively, this is the most peaceful presidential election we have had in this country, he told reporters at the end of the 10-hour voting period. However, 2 women voters were injured when unidentified attackers pelted stones at their bus in the northwest region of the area, police said. The victims were traveling in a convoy of buses that had come under gunfire in the same region earlier in the day. In another news from the international scene, Trump has said he will strongly consider testifying in impeachment probe. President Donald Trump said on Monday that he is strongly considering accepting a challenge from opposition Democrats to testify in his own impeachment investigation, after the Speaker of the lower house, Nancy Pelosi, upped the ante by suggesting that Trump come forward to tell the truth. The Republican president said he was keen. Pelosi suggested that I testify about the phony impeachment witch hunt. She also said I could do it in writing, Trump tweeted. However, it was unclear what kind of testimony the president had in mind. His defense team would likely be highly resistant to the idea of him appearing before the House Intelligence Committee, delving into the allegation that Trump pressured Ukraine to dig up debt in a political rival to help his 2020 re-election chances. News from the world of business, the irony of going cashless to grow economy. The details of the news will come shortly after this break.
My name is Lizzie Johnson Suleiman. People say that there's no reason, nothing to be thankful of. But there's a reason why you need to be grateful to God, why you need a heart of gratitude. This is JMAF, Jubilee Music and Art Festival. Be there, just a night with a king. God bless you.
Recently, the Central Bank of Nigeria announced a new policy on cash-based transactions that stipulates a cash handling charge on daily cash withdrawals and deposits that exceed 500,000 naira for individuals and 3 million naira for corporate bodies. The announcement met an outrage from some stakeholders, including members of the House of Representatives, financial experts, and National Association of Nigeria Students. The Apex Bank had directed the implementation should begin from September 18 in Lagos, Ogun, Kano, Abia, Anambra, and Rivers State, as well as the Federal Capital Territory. He stated that nationwide implementation of the cashless policy would take effect from March 31st, 2020. Clarifying the directive, the Director Corporate Communication Department, Mr. Isaac Okorafor, said that when an individual deposited 510,000 naira, the 2% charge would be on the 10,000 naira excess. This would amount to 200 naira. He said the same applied to a withdrawal of same amount, adding that the 3% charge would be on excess of the set limits. The Apex Bank aims at reducing and not eliminating physical cash circulating in the economy and encouraging more electronic-based transactions, payment for goods, services, transfers, among others. With the move, it is hoped that the nation's economy would be able to compete favorably with 20 other economies by the year 2020 in the cashless economy space. It is also expected that the move would catalyze the process of financial inclusion. In another business news, Air Peace Embraer sealed $212.6 million aircraft deal. Air Peace and Brazilian aerospace conglomerate Embraer have signed a contract for 3 additional E195-E2, confirming purchase rights from the original contract signed in April this year. With the new signing at the Dubai Air Show, Air Peace has made a total firm order of 13 E195-E2s with 17 purchase rights from the same model, whose delivery would begin in May 2020. However, the airline said on Sunday that the new E195-E2s with a value of $212.6 million based on Embraer's current list prices would be included in Embraer's 2019 fourth quarter backlog. Air Peace said the new aircraft would have dual configurations with 12-seater business class and 102-seater economy class. Air Peace Chief of Finance and Administration, Mrs. Ejirogena Egaga, who signed the new deal on behalf of the airline, was quoted as saying the E195-E2 was the perfect aircraft to expand the carrier's domestic and regional operations. Next is from the world of sports on News Desk, and here we have Sunday Dare Harps on youth investment to sustain Nigeria's project. The details of the news will come shortly after this time out. Please do well to join us again.
My name is Lizzie Johnson Suleiman. People say that there's no reason, nothing to be thankful of. But there's a reason why you need to be grateful to God, why you need a heart of gratitude. This is JMAF, Jubilee Music and Art Festival. Be there, just a night with a king. God bless you.
And welcome to Sports News on News Desk. The Minister of Youth and Sports Development, Mr. Sunday Dare, has disclosed that for the sustainability of the Nigerian project, the federal government must ensure investment in youth through the critical sectors of the economy. Dare added that investment in education, technology, agriculture, and developmental infrastructure, if sustained, would be the way to go as a wise form of investment for the emancipation of Nigerian youths. A statement issued by the National Public Relations Officer of Laduke Akintola University of Technology, LAUTECH, alumna Dare Adeyemi, disclosed that the minister enumerated plans for the federal government to reverse the national youth policy for the year 2019 and 2023 with 11 key thematic areas of sports, education, science and technology, agriculture, environment, drug abuse, health, among others. He said there is the need for urgent attention in youth investment from all stakeholders, especially government in critical sectors, to make for the sustainable stabilization of the new Nigerian project. Again on sport, lack of Champions League begins to hit Manchester United finances. Manchester United's failure to qualify for the Champions League is beginning to erode the club's finances, but increased commercial income helped the English Giants post revenues of £135.4 million for the first quarter of the 2019 and 2020 season on Monday. That represents a £400,000 increase on the same period for the previous year, thanks to more sponsorship income and 2 extra home games compared to the same stage of last season. Broadcasting revenue fell by nearly £10 million due to a lack of Champions League football, which will make an even bigger impact in figures for the second quarter of the year, when 5 of the 6 group games are played. United are expecting the 2020 annual revenue to fall to between £560 to £580 million compared to £627 million for the year ending June 30th, 2019, due to the lack of Champions League revenue. However, the failure to qualify for the competition is also reflected in a £6.8 million drop in the club's wage bill for the first quarter of the season. The next debt rose from £137 million to £384.5 million due to spending on players such as Harry Maguire, Aaron Wan, and Daniel James in the summer transfer market. And then lastly on sport, Pele's 1,000th goal scored 50 years ago today. That's in history. The revered Brazil striker Pele scored his 1,000th goal on November 1969 at Rio de Janeiro's Maracanã Stadium in a match between his beloved Santos and local outfit Vasco da Gama, whose vast ranks of fans gave the iconic number 10 a standing ovation. That goal half a century ago was a beautifully converted penalty which escaped the grasp of the Vasco goalkeeper, sparking a pitch invasion by the press and culminating in Pele being paraded shoulder high around the historic stadium by his teammates. Swarms of photographers and journalists had been posed pitchside for the moment. Pele, a national hero after helping Brazil to 2 World Cup wins in 1958 and 1962, was still just 29 years old when he broke the 1,000 goal barrier. Now that is everything today on News Desk, but in case you just joining us or you missed out on any of them, here are top stories again. Go to court, Buhari tells PDP and others as Bello and Leon wins. From the international scene, Trump says he will strongly consider testifying in impeachment probe. And then on business, Peace and Abreu sealed $212.6 million aircraft deal. And then on sport, lack of Champions League begins to hit Man United finances. Please be our friend on our social media platforms: on Facebook, Celebration TV; on Instagram, My Celebration TV; on Twitter, @Celebration TV; and then on YouTube, Celebration TV. I am Obozege Ruth, and thank you so much for staying with us today on News Desk. Goodbye and have a lovely Tuesday.